I'm seeing these for the first time, and yet this is not the first time.
Where am I?
As we get older, developing dementia is a concern for many people.
Imagine forgetting everyone you know, everything you know, and every moment you've ever experienced. This is the fear of forgetting, the true horror of dementia. In 2018, me and my family went out to Kansas to go have fun and watch the powwow. But our main goal for going out there was to go see family. Mainly my aunts and uncles and dad, who I haven't seen for years. One of the main people I wanted to see was my grandma. At this time, I knew she had dementia. I just didn't know how severe it was. So after we had our fun and went to the powwows, me, my mom, and my brother went to go see her. When we finally got to where she was placed at a nursing home called Maple Heights Nursing Home, it took a while to get into her room. And when we finally got in her room, I knew something was wrong. I knew she didn't remember. And when we finally spoke to her, she asked who we were. She forgot us. We're nothing but strangers to her. But to me, she viewed me as my dad. She viewed me as someone who is related to me. But that is truly not who I am. After that, our day was full of sadness. We were sad that she didn't remember us. Then we went home. Then about a year later, we got the news on December 25th, 2019, that she had passed. And this saddened me. I didn't know what to do with my life at that point. I was lost. Dementia is scary to watch. Knowing your loved one is slowly forgetting everything they know is sad. Sad, there is nothing you can do about it. The dementia is one of my greatest fears. Although we forget almost every day, that is unavoidable. Wow, dementia is uncontrollable. I fear that one day I will forget that I lived my life with people. I will forget the people in my life. So I wanted to bring this to light, the rational fear of forgetting.
Dementia can be said as being old as mankind. Its first historical written evidence would be with the ancient Egyptians of 2000 BC. The ancient Egyptians knew that when one ages, they experience a decline in cognitive functions. This would include memory. Nothing is really written until the witch hunts of the 14th and 15th century. People who had mental sickness or mental illnesses and mental disorders were also being hunted. They were being accused of being demon-possessed. They're also being accused of being witches. It is also said that they were being punished by God for the sins they have committed. Next we have Auguste Detier. Auguste Detier was born 1850. Auguste Detier was the first recognized patient of Alzheimer's disease. In March 1901, Auguste started to show symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. She started to be careless in housework. She lost the ability to cook, and she also gained insomnia. Her condition deteriorated rapidly. She was later admitted to Frankfurt Mental Hospital. when she was at Frankfurt Mental Hospital, she began to show worse and worse cognitive decline. She began to turn aggressive towards other people. She was also said to be running down the streets in the middle of the night saying, "I won't stab myself. I won't stab myself again." With all this, the hospital fees were a toll on her husband. And due to the hospital fees, he signed all the hospital records and all August's brain to Alzheimer's upon August's death. Then, finally, she lost all her cognitive ability. She succumbed to pneumonia on April 8th, 1906. Next, we have the person who watched over August deteriorate, which would be Alois Alzheimer's. Alois Alzheimer's was a man who studied the disease that would be later named after him. He was out to be in charge of August Detier when she was in Frankfurt Mental Hospital. When August Detier had died, Alzheimer's had done an autopsy on her brain because he had gotten the rights to her brain. He found out that Alzheimer's disease left a severely shrunken brain. This would be later said to be what she died from and what other people who experienced would have died from. In World War II, with the rise of fascism in Germany, it halted the research of dementia. It left a big gap with no research on this topic. We are still picking up the pieces of it today.
I mean, I thought losing your glasses was pretty normal.
I noticed the forgetfulness,
But I thought it was just her age.
I can't say that I didn't know before she was diagnosed, because I did, because it was a shock, but it was something to go with her. She goes, did I say this to you again, or say this already? Or, she'd have little words that she would say, like, before she was actually diagnosed with it. But
I said, well, can we, I want to take you to bingo tonight. Oh, okay. She said, I got a question for you. And I said, what? She said, can you take me to bingo? I ain't been to bingo in a long time. I want to go to bingo. Well, that's why I called you. Oh, we're going to bingo tonight? Yeah. Well, that's good, because I ain't been in a long time. She said, yeah, I'll come by and pick you up. She said, where you going? I said, we're going to bingo. Can you take me with you? I want to go to bingo. I ain't been to bingo. I knew it was bad.
Dementia patients face many hardships throughout their time with dementia. One of the most commonly known hardship that they face is the forgetfulness. People often refer forgetfulness as a natural part of aging. They don't really associate forgetfulness with dementia. So when one person asks, what are we doing here and why are we here, you never to think that it's a first sign of dementia. Up until they either get diagnosed or they're in the later stages of dementia that you start to connect the dots between those two events and think, oh, that was a first time. That was the first sign. Forgetfulness is often associated with the displacement of things. So when one person just misplaces their keys, phone, or glasses, you never think that it's dementia. You just think it's a natural part of aging. Talking about dementia, you can't help but to talk about its effects it has on families. Families often struggle in figuring out who is going to take care of the family member who has dementia. It is often recommended that families take care of the dementia patient in turns. This isn't practiced. They often allocate this job to one person, serving as their caretaker. And when this one person takes care of the dementia patient, they often face many mental struggles. This will include depression, exhaustion, anger, and frustration. It is not only mentally that they struggle with, but also physically. They often have to quit their own job just to take care of the patient. And when they quit their own job, they're left with this dilemma if they should work or not. because they need the funds to take care of their own patient. The person who knows these struggles the best is my SHP teacher, Dr. Valerie Grimley.
Hi, my name is Valerie Grimley, and I'm a teacher at SNAVE Foundation School. I want to share with you some experiences that I've had with family members who have dementia or Alzheimer's, and just some experiences from my family. So, in the most recent years, I've had 2 family members with Alzheimer's or dementia, and one of which is my girl's grandma, their great grandma on their dad's side, and then my grandma, who was recently diagnosed with dementia. So some of the things that we embark upon in the time of caring for our family members is really trying to set a routine and really trying to educate ourselves on what this illness is taking from our family member, but also how we can fill in those gaps for them. And one of the biggest challenges is having the support from all of our family members. It's pretty much easier for one person to take on the lead and the communication and the planning and the scheduling and meals and therapy and doctor's appointments and medication to ensure that it's happening. However, what we've seen in our experiences, when it's one person who's doing all of that, it becomes a huge mental health toll. And so with my girl's great grandma, that was the approach that the family decided to take, was really ensuring that everything be done by one person. And unfortunately, one of our aunties had to take a leave of absence from work for probably 3 years, close to 3 years, to take care of her mom. And that took a lot. There were times where she was really sad, where she was mad, and where, family would be there, but not really be there. They would be there physically, but not really know what the whole picture looked like. And so there was a lot of frustration and tension over how to support both grandma and also auntie.
When doing my research, I was given many advice from the families. This advice will help families with their struggles in helping with their family member who has dementia. This advice would include
Support each other.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing.
Be there for one another. Really, wholeheartedly. Because it's the siblings or the kids that have to go on. And if you guys ain't strong as a unit, you'll slowly break away.